believe it or not, smoking is still the leading cause of preventable death in America. So here's a question. Are we doing enough to change that? Well, over in France, they are banning smoking on beaches and public parks, trying to prevent those tobacco-related deaths. Now, here in America, there is some talk about trying to ban menthol cigarettes nationally. Well, 2 states already have. DBL Nation, we want to hear from you. Should we be doing more to create a smoke-free generation that is coming up? Yes or no? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. What would you say, Al? You already have I can tell you. Okay.
I mean, I don't know if there's anything we can do. People smoke because they're nervous, because they have anxiety. It's something that our society creates. So I don't know if banning cigarettes or pushing it back, has that ever worked? We tried to ban alcohol. We tried to ban crystal meth, cocaine,
weed,
marijuana, everything.
I believe crystal meth is banned.
I know, but yes. And
wait a minute.
I don't mean to be one of those people.
No, that's to my point. To my point, people still have access to it whenever they want. So what people want, they're going to get. So what we need to decide as a government is, are we going to make it illegal and create an underground black market, or are we going to put it above ground and tax it and try and regulate it? That's the only 2 options we have.
What about the advertising behind it?
I think that's fair. You're allowed to take off things like, remember they took away the fruity flavors of the vape for Juul because it was really clearly going to children. The menthol, also a gateway for children and black and brown communities with the menthol cigarettes. I have a hard time with the government telling me that I can't do something even if it's bad for me. Although I also know that the cost of healthcare goes up for us all with taxes.
Yes.
But I find that other countries might not have that sense of keep the government away from my body. I'm not sure Americans would take well to the government telling them they can or cannot do something that they get to do as an adult on their own.
Well, what about seatbelts?
Seatbelts are also for other people, right? Like and there is secondhand smoke that comes into play here, but
secondhand smoke is quite deadly.
It really is.
I'm for the ban. I really am.
I'm on the fence, but I'm leaning towards being
for the ban.
For it,
I think Al brings up the most practical point, that does this then open up a black market, which is even more dangerous because it's not regulated. But if all things idealistically I could control, I would want them to be gone. What do you think?
Yeah, listen, I get what Tori's saying, like freedom of speech and freedom of expression. You should be able to do what you want here in America. I'm all for that. But if the government truly does care, first of all, there's addictive qualities in cigarettes and tobacco.
There really is.
So they could take those out if they really cared about us, right? I brought up the healthcare on a different show. Tori brought that up as well. I just don't know if the government truly cares about us, because they would eliminate it. You're giving me a ticket because I'm not wearing my seatbelt? Shouldn't that be a freedom of my expression? Or are you trying to pay a state tax? You're trying to pay a state tax. You want to ban cigarettes because you hate us, or because you're trying to look out for our health? No, because you're taxing it and it pays for a lot of things in the community. So let's be honest what it's for. They don't care about you, but again, we're paying for the people that are sick and addicted to cigarettes at the end of their life. So again, the government, as much as you don't want them involved, they control it. They are involved.
Those people that are not wearing their seatbelt are in a rollover crash and can no longer work, and you're 40 years old, but you're going to live for another 40 years. Well, now we, as a community, we have to take care of that person. So our tax dollars do have something to do with your decision not to wear a seatbelt. So that's where I do have
a problem. Listen, I understand drunk drivers kill people, and there's an astonishing number of that, right? When they set up checkpoints at certain intersections, are you really looking out for people's health and dying, or are you trying to put some money in the bank for your state?
Right.
I really have a problem separating the two.